Hello everyone, welcome back. This is day 20, our balanced full body flow. So find some space to move and let's get started. So we're going to begin today sitting down, maybe sitting cross-legged, whichever way you prefer to start. And just bringing some length into your spine, and you can close your eyes. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And maybe you will stay sitting tall, and maybe you will fold forward. And bring your chest towards your legs, your head towards the ground. And just scan your body, wherever you are. And if you did decide to fold forward, you can slowly lift yourself back up. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can cross your legs the other way. Re-lengthen the spine. And maybe folding forwards again. And see how this side feels. Breathing softness into your body right from the start. If you're folding forwards, you can lift back up. If your legs are crossed, we can uncross them. Maybe give them a little squeeze, a little hug. And then we're going to set up 90-90 legs where maybe our right leg can be forwards, the left leg behind us or out to the side. 90-90. If you feel your back leg already, you can either bring it up for less, you can bring it further back for more, but take a little tip to the right side, even a little lean back. So I want you to feel your hip flexor, your back leg. So the more space between the knee and the foot, the more you will feel the back leg. The more you lean back, the more you will feel the back leg too. So just take a second, take a breath. And then you might have to bring the back knee up a little bit. We are going to switch sides. You might end up facing the wrong way if you just want to pivot 90-90 or a little less or a little bit more. A little tip to the left side though, a little lean back, trying to find the hip flexor. Take another breath here. You can start to slide your back leg up again. You can bring your legs all the way together. Have a seat. Give your knees a squeeze. We're going to be making our way into tabletop, so let's come on over. Find your hands, find your knees. And maybe give your hips a couple extra sways side to side, but then you can tuck the toes, lift on up and into downward facing dog. Pedal the feet, press into the hands, take a slow deep breath in and out. Let's use an inhale to look forwards, and as you exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale to lift halfway. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up. And exhale, lower your arms. Add a shoulder roll. Take an inhale to reach up, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, lower your arms. Take another inhale, reach right back up, and exhale to folds. Inhale, half lift. lift. And exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, lower your arms. Another inhale as you reach back up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Plant your hands, take your left foot back. We're gonna lower our knee down. Set up a nice low lunge. You might be on the top of the foot, sinking into the hips. You can stay with your hands on the ground or you can lift your chest. I want you to find that hip flexor though. Be in a lunge where you're stretching the hip flexor, lengthening the hip flexor. If your arms are available, we're going to take the left arm and reach it up, and you might look up. Stay for just another inhale, and as you exhale, you can bring your hands back to the ground. You can tuck the toes and lift the knee if you want. Take an inhale to gaze forwards though. Exhale, bring your back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding. Plant the hands, right foot's coming back. Find your lunge, your nice deep stretch for the hip. Maybe the top of the foot, maybe hands stay on the ground, maybe you lift and sink into the hips. If arms are free, right arm especially, you can reach it up and you can look up. Take just another inhale. As you exhale, hands back down to the ground. Maybe lift the back knee up. Inhale to gaze forwards though. Exhale, bring your back foot to the top. Take an inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Shoulder roll this time if you want one, but we are going to stay standing. So, right foot, let's stand on that first. Your left heel can lift. That's as far as you go, maybe. You can also bring your foot behind you. Try to give the legs a little bit of a squeeze together. We can also try to hold the foot. A little extra quad stretch, a little balance. Feel free to hold on to something. So you might stay here. You might move your hand to the inside edge of your foot. Open the shoulder, the chest a little bit. You might start to bend your standing knee. Soft through the knees. We might take a little tip forwards and lift the left knee higher and tip. And with the foot, it's kind of close to our glute right now. Maybe you can try to bring some space between the foot and the glute, and that might lift your knee a little higher. What is your right arm doing? Can it reach forwards? Can you look forward? Dancer. Can we slowly start to find our way back to standing tall and bringing our left foot to the ground and letting it all go, and a little shake of the legs maybe. And then the right heel can float. And maybe this is as far as you go. A great place to be to work on our balance. Maybe the foot does lift. A little squeeze of the legs together. Maybe you try to reach for the foot, one hand or both. Hug the heel towards the glute. Maybe you've got one hand holding on to something. Maybe we try to hold the inner edge of the foot. And you can take a little bend through the standing knee. Soften the knees. Maybe a little tip forwards intentionally or not. A little tip forwards as you lift your knee higher. Can you bring some space between your back heel and your back glute? What does that back leg do? Our left arm, if it's free, maybe it's reaching forwards. Maybe lifting the chest. Awesome work, you guys. No time to overthink anything. Find your way back to having both feet on the ground, Ta-da, dancer's pose. Give your legs a little shake. Roll your shoulders back. Take an inhale to reach up. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, folding forwards. Plant your hands, step back into downward facing dog. Press into your hands and send your hips high. Nice slow inhale. As you exhale, our knees are gonna come down to tabletop. You can bring your knees together and sit back on the heels. You can keep the chest lifted, or we can lean forwards, maybe without our hands. Your hands could come to the low back to keep you honest, and maybe you slowly tip and try to bring the forehead all the way down. If it doesn't want to touch, bring your hands, place them underneath your forehead so that it does touch something. Take a breath. Slow down. And maybe without the help of the hands, you can lift on up and sit back on the heels. Eventually bringing your hands back in front of you if they are behind. You can add a shoulder roll. We're going to bring our hands back to the ground though, set up tabletop. You can widen the knees a little bit, give the hips a nice sway, side to side. And then our right foot is gonna come forwards. We're gonna set up our low lunge. So scooch around, find your nice lunge. Maybe we are lifting the chest. Maybe the left arm too. And maybe you are looking up. What is your right hand doing? It can stay on the knee, it could find the hip, it could find the low back or the left hip. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands back down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift the knee if you'd like, and inhale to gaze forwards though. Exhale, bring your back foot to the top. Take an inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back and into downward facing dog. Push into your hands. Stay for a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, lower your knees down. Tabletop. Maybe scooching the knees together, maybe sitting back on the heels again. Hands free, tip forwards if you want to. Maybe hands to the low back. Maybe you start to slowly lower. See how far you can get. Breathe. Bring your hands under your forehead if it doesn't touch the ground. Slow down again. Notice the sensations flowing throughout you. Maybe without the help of the hands, we start to lift. Lift back up until we're sitting on the heels. You can bring your hands in front. You can add your shoulder roll. Find your way into tabletop. Bring some space between the knees, maybe a sway of the hips. And then our left foot is going to come forwards, setting up our nice deep lunge. Sink into the hips. Maybe your hands stay on the ground. Maybe you lift up. Right arm, does it want to reach up? Does the left hand want to move too? Maybe behind you. Maybe more of a back bend. Stay for an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands down. Maybe lift your back knee. Take an inhale to gaze forwards though. Exhale, bring your back foot up. Inhaling into a half lift. And exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Reach up. As you exhale, lower your arms down. We're going to widen our feet. Toes pointing forwards. I'm going about mat width apart. Your hands can come to your hips. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, start to fold. Your hands can leave your hips if you want them to. They might end up on the ground in front of you or dangling down towards the ground. You could hold your elbow. You could sway a little bit side to side. Try to make that sway a little bit bigger. Try to bring your chest towards your leg, in line with your leg. Okay, we can keep our feet, maybe your mat width apart like I am, or maybe we can go wider than that. Hands to the ground and heel toe out further, or if you need to come up to standing, but maybe you could go nice and wide. Toes pointing forwards, or even in slightly. And then same thing, you can fold, you can dangle, or maybe you actually reach for your left foot and give your leg a hug. And then you can walk your hands all the way over towards your right foot and maybe give your leg a hug. And finding your way back through center. And maybe if your hands do touch the ground, can you push into your fingertips and lengthen your spine? Can you even take a little gaze forwards and press into your feet a little bit too? Can you squeeze your belly button in, long and strong through the spine? Now can we walk our hands forwards a little bit more so that we're reaching? We're reaching, reaching, reaching. And can you let your upper body get a bit heavier, your head like you're in downward dog, but your feet are really wide? Awesome work, you guys. Can you start to shift your weight forwards a little bit into your hands so that maybe you can step your feet back in, about hip width apart, and then as you push into the hands again, downward facing dog. Fancy. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, lower your knees down to tabletop. Give your hips a little bit of sway if you'd like. We are going to make our way to seated though, so you can sit down and bring your legs out in front. You can always start with a hug of the knees, a rock. Letting go of the practice so far. And we might try to lean back just a little bit, get a little lighter through our feet. Balance on your sit bones. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. If you're leaning backwards, if you're floating your feet, just start to tip yourself forwards again so your feet find the ground. We are going to lay down on our backs so you can start to lower yourself. We're actually going to bend our knees, plant our feet, scoot your hips or your feet and your hips together as much as they want to be. Resting your arms at your sides, turning your palms to face down. And then if you'd like to lift your hips, bridge pose, you might interlace your hands together under you. Tuck your shoulders under your chest, lift up. Squeeze the glutes. Draw the belly button in. Close your eyes and think, how long can I stay here? What areas of my body need to work to keep me here? And what areas of my body do I not really need to use to keep me here? Let your breath keep your mind focused on just staying here. Can we stay for another inhale? And as you exhale, you can slowly lower. Press your low back down and pause. Resist the urge to sway your knees or hug your knees in. Feel the entire length of your spine against the ground. Notice the cool sensations flowing through your leg. If you still would like to hug your knees to your chest, you can add that in now. And maybe a sway side to side too. If you like to let your knees tip over towards the left side for a twist. You might cross your top leg over the bottom leg. Any twist that you prefer. And using an inhale, let's lift our legs back up. And you can switch. Knees tipping over to the right, maybe crossing your left leg over top. And just using an inhale to find your way back up and out of your twist. And maybe hugging your knees to your chest again, or leaving your feet planted. But you can rock or sway side to side as much as you'd like. When you are ready, though, to send your legs long and find Shavasana. Find a comfortable place. Focus completely on your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. And maybe reaching your arms all the way above your head. Nice big stretch. Bend your knees one leg at a time. And roll over. Find your way up to a comfy seat when you're ready. Bring your hands together. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, namaste.